Welcome to The Real with Joseph Labman. I am Joseph Labman. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of The Real, taking time out of your day to come watch this episode. I really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe for me. I'd really appreciate that as well. That's the best way you can support this channel and help me grow my content and grow this channel to where I'd like it to be. Everybody hit the like button for me on the way in on this video today. That also helps promote this video more in the algorithms, helps grow this channel more as well. Please share this content. I would really appreciate that. My guests would as well. If you would please share this episode with someone you know that maybe is interested in the topic we're talking about today. Please leave a comment below as well. We'd love to hear your guys' feedback. You can interact with myself and the guest on the panel and the live chat as well. Whatever we're talking about, just leave a comment there in the live chat. Pop in and say hello. We'll put it on the screen for you. And without further ado, let's get to the show. Welcome back to The Real with Joseph Labman. Hey, I'm Joseph Labman. Hope you guys having a happy Sunday evening. Welcome into The Real. Like I said, Happy New Year. Please like, subscribe, and share. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Appreciate all you guys. I love all you guys and for showing support all along since we started this a little over 3 years ago now. But a much better Sunday today. It won't feel like a funeral tonight, finally. I feel like the last X amount of post games, I can't remember how many. We were on a 9-game losing streak. So, it's been kind of depressing here all off season and just even now because it's like things just seem kind of dull and gloomy. And today the Browns got the win. They stunned the Green Bay Packers 13-10 at home. Holy Szmyt, as you can see right there, Andre Szmyt came through clutch there at the end with a 55-yard game-winning field goal. What a game. It was a heck of a game. Defensive slugfest for the first three quarters. I mean, very, 3-0 at halftime. Just not a whole lot of, offense going on for both teams. I thought defense today, we'll start there with the defense. As you can see, Bill Cowher after the game said that, the Browns might have the best defense in the league. And I think after today's game, last week we had some people get in a debate about it on our show. My stance was I wanted to wait, one more week. It was only 2 weeks. I wanted to keep seeing more sample size. That this game would be a great test against a Packers team that was playing pretty well coming into the game today. 2-0 coming in here. And, some people thought maybe the best team in the NFL through 2 weeks. So I thought this would be a good test. And the defense, man, they were phenomenal today. I mean, they only gave up 81 rushing yards, only 2.6 yards an attempt for the Green Bay Packers running the ball. Obviously, they have Josh Jacobs. He only ran the ball for 30 yards today, 1.9 yards an average. I mean, that is shutting down one of the better running backs in the NFL. Jordan Love, 18 of 25, so still efficient, but only 133 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He was sacked 5 times. I thought the Browns would have mattered most of the times had Jordan Love feeling really uncomfortable in the pocket. We're able to get to him. Like I said, 5 sacks. The interior today was phenomenal. Malik Collins, Aiden Huntington, the guy who I thought after the first game against Carolina in the preseason was going to be a star in this team, a rising star, rather. With the talent he has, raw ability. I mean, it's a guy that's 6'1", 281. In the interior, runs a 4.6. I mean, just an absolute freak. And he showed it again today. Had his first career sack. I thought Myles Garrett was his usual self. We needed him most. He was getting pressure. Had a sack today as well. The front seven's insane. That front seven for the Browns is really, really good. Mason Graham, plugging him in there, it's just amazing. And I said this last year, having just a great 3-tech. What it can do to your defense. If you look at the last X amount of teams that have won a Super Bowl, look at the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Rams, all those teams had elite 3-techs. And that's what you have. When you have that kind of ability in the middle where you can penetrate that up the middle, it just your defense just goes to a whole nother level. Helps your edge rushers out even more. You take the running game away. It makes quarterbacks have to roll out of the pocket, try to throw it down the field and force things. We can get interceptions possibly. And the Browns finally got a turnover today. I mean, this is the first game where they finally, I think, won the turnover battle or had a turnover. Let me see here. Yeah, today they had, turnover battle is 1-1. 1 interception thrown by each team, but the Browns actually forced a turnover today. They haven't forced a turnover in a long time. I can't remember the stat exactly, but it was a long time. I think in all the games they've lost in the last 9 games, they did not win the turnover battle or force a turnover. So today they were able to do that. So defensively, what Bill Cowher says they might be the best defense in the league. They certainly looked like it today because that was a really good team they went against, a great offense. And I thought, again, the whole Josh Jacobs to 1.9 yard an attempt for 30 yards. I mean, that's pretty impressive. I think that defense is what people thought, so far through the 3 weeks is they're going to keep the Browns in games. You look at the Browns offense today, which we'll go to now, that offense, you know, through 3 quarters was terrible. It looked like the worst offense you've ever seen. I'm just going to be honest. It was terrible. Joe Flacco continues to look kind of old, slow. I was not impressed with a lot of the play calling for 4 quarters, to be honest with you. I think 4th quarter he did a much better job of feeding Judkins, and Judkins got going. The first thing that jumped out to me today about the offense is, the first 2 weeks they threw the 45 times with Flacco. I said I'd like to keep it between 30 to 35 and run the ball more. And I feel like we'd have a more effective chance to win. Today, they only threw the ball 36 times and ran the ball 19 times for 5.1 yards an attempt. Remember last week they ran the ball at a high clip as well, but we didn't run the ball enough early on in that game, in my opinion, against Baltimore. This week, we 9 fewer pass attempts, ran the ball more, and you're able to get the dub at home. And that's their style. Trust your defense, lean on your defense to get enough stops, but offensively, you got to find a way to not only generate points, but to get a drive going, to get rhythm going, to get first downs. You know what I mean? And I feel like today the Browns had 15 first downs, Green Bay's 14. They were able to move the chains a little more, especially in that 4th quarter. They finally found a rhythm with Judkins, and Judkins looks unbelievable. Judkins is what I thought he would be, and a guy who can be an elite back in this league one day. It's only 2 games with him, but you can just see with the talent, the size, the speed combination. He's got elite talent, so he can be as good as he wants to be. And I think he'll be really good here. I think he was exactly what this team needed, a guy who can do a little bit of everything, can block. I mean, he had an incredible chip block today on Micah Parsons, absolutely just flattened into the ground. He can catch out of the backfield if you need him to. And he's a great runner. No matter how good the O-line's playing or not, he can find a way to get up the creases. He's great. He's great going vertical. Which that was my game. One of my key points for the Browns going this game was I wanted them to run the ball more vertically between the tackles in. And I thought that once they started doing that a little more in the 4th quarter, you could tell they were starting to get a rhythm going because, remember Green Bay traded away their interior to get Micah Parsons. So then, if there's a weak spot on that line, you would think it'd be right there. And I think they showed that today. They were able to get inside and run the ball at the middle pretty effectively. He was able to find a crease and get upfield. His cuts were really good. I mean, he's an all-around tremendous back. And to see him over there, scoring there at the end of the game and then going over to the stands and yelling and screaming and all fired up, that's what you love to see. And I think he's going to be a guy who people are going to really love here in Cleveland for a long time. And I'm glad he's on our team, and he's going to be a hell of a player. And but that's my first thing offensively that, to me was – they ran the ball more. They committed to the run a little more. Now, at the end of the game on the goal line, I think if there's one play call today that really I think they should scratch from the playbook is the bootleg down at the goal line and running Luke Whippler on a corner route in the end zone. I think we should scratch that from the playbook. Immediately when I saw that and then we had the result of that drive, I was thinking, oh, man, it's going to be a rough post game if they lose this because it looked like, again, after that drive, remember we were on the 1 yard line or right on the goal line and we get backed up 20 yards and, I think we had to kick the field goal, but I was like, man, they better not lose this game because they tied the game with the field goal, but you were thinking you should have scored a touchdown there. Now, luckily they got to the main part of the game, which was the blocked field goal. Hell of a play by Denzel Ward. Denzel is Denzel. When he's healthy, he's one of the best corners in the league, top 5 in my opinion. Just elite skill set, what he's always been. I mean, that was an incredible for him. He just looked like Superman flying through the air. And then Shelby Harris getting the hand up, the 2 vets there at the end of the game. And I think at the end of the game, you saw, Njoku a lot of the game. There were certain plays where I wish Njoku would have been out there a little more or got more involved. But he wasn't out there. But at the end of the game, when you needed a play, after you got the field goal block, you go to Njoku on that 3rd down. You're able to get in field goal range to set that up. And they did a phenomenal job of getting up to the line of scrimmage and spiking the ball. I thought that was really well done by them, how they executed that. You could tell that's something they definitely won over in practice many times. But at the end of the game, though, you went to your key guys. It used to be Nick Chubb, but now you got Quinton Judkins, who – when you need him at the end of the game today, he showed up in his first career start. So the guy looks reliable. You needed a catch. You needed a big play on third down. You went to David Njoku, one of your longtime vets. We needed a block field goal and stuff. You got Denzel Ward and Shelby Harris. You needed pressure at the end of that game in the fourth quarter. Myles Garrett was able to, lead the charge and help the guys up front. And they were to do their thing, and stop the run all game. And so, a lot of a lot of things in this game that I liked. There's a lot of things I still don't like from the coaching standpoint, and just some other stuff I'm going to go over tonight. Not going to get on it hard too much tonight because I want to celebrate the win and not talk a lot about the negative things. But there were some things though where I felt like we put ourselves in that position at the end of the game, where again, where Green Bay had it lined up to kick that field goal, they would have won it. But there's some things that still in that game I think we need to fix and go over, and if we want to really have a legit shot to win. And also, I'm going to ask the question tonight too: what should we do at quarterback going forward? Should we still stick with Joe Flacco, or is it time for Dillon Gabriel? I'll give my thoughts to that here shortly. Get some of these comments real quick. Adam said this defense is awesome. I don't like Flacco starting. He's immobile, so he can't make plays. I agree with that, Adam. I think Dylan or Shador could provide a spark at the offense. Juckins had a great debut. Yes, he did. What's up, Jeremy? Good to see you. There were a couple checkdowns where we had a deeper route wide open. There was that one play to Isaiah Bond going over the left, and he threw the check down to I think it was Harold Fanning. He threw it early, and the play-by-play guy pointed out immediately. He said you had Isaiah Bond wide open. But I get that O-line wasn't giving Flacco the time. In most cases, we need to sure things up. Yeah, the offensive line's going to be definitely a rebuild this year. I think they're breaking out all the bad habits they had from last year and the instability in that room. Remember, last year they hired Andy Dickerson to be their coach in that room, and then by the end of the season, Mike Vrabel, defensive guy, was the coach in that offensive line room. So, I broke down the tape on them. The first 2 weeks, and I think there's still a lot of bad habits they got to break out of, and I think they're just kind of trying to get the rhythm back. Obviously, DeJuan Jones got hurt today. He didn't come back in, so hopefully he'll be good moving forward because they're pretty thin right now on the tackle spots. You have an older guy, Cornelius Lucas, and you have a young guy who's kind of a project in KT Livingston. So I think they'll rely on that interior more with, Batonio, Pochich, and Teller, the three vets, who I think, in the fourth quarter today, they were able to run the ball pretty effectively at the middle. Those guys, I thought, did a good enough job to help Juckins find a crease. That's why I said run the ball more vertically. And I think we're just better that way anyways. And that, like Juckins at Ohio State to me was really good running more vertically, personally. And so where Travion was more the guy that can bounce outside. But I think the O-line, like I said, it's going to be a project this year. I think we're going to see what happens. But, when you have a defense like that and if you can run the ball effectively, I think you can keep yourselves in games and have a shot to win like today. Could this team be the new Cardiac Kids? Possibly. Maybe if they could find that formula to be competitive each week. It's going to be tough. I still think they still got a lot of areas they got to get better at, and they got to figure out the quarterback position, I think, going forward. If they can get better productivity there. But we'll see. Adam said we should have won the first game, but we lost this one. So 1-2 is where we're at with Flacco, with possibly the best defense in the league. Yeah. We put the D in defense, baby. Okay. Yes, we do. By the way, at the end of the game, you can see the chart here. I don't know if you guys saw this. I thought this was kind of cool. It was going over on Twitter. You could see going into the fourth quarter, they had about almost a 70-80% chance to win at one point. And you can see right there at the end of the game, just an absolute drop all the way down to probability of the Browns. Just an absolute meltdown by the Packers there at the fourth quarter. So, yeah, but without further ado, I'll get my guys up here. The man, the myth, the legend, the professional fan, Sir Michael Antonis. Mike, what's happening?
Hello, beautiful people. Hello. How are they?
And also joining us tonight, straight out of Detroit, the Lions fan who we play next week, Chris is in the house. Chris, what's up, brother?
Mike, get some season tickets, dude. Go to every game. You're the reason they won.
I was not there.
Oh, I thought you were going.
I was. Plans fell through. Unfortunately, my buddy couldn't make it, so I decided on a different game. So I don't know what that means.
Oh. Well, I thought you and all your positivity brought him the win today.
I manifested it even without me being there.
Yeah, whatever you did today, Mike, just keep doing it moving forward.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got to cut off a lot of chicken heads.
Yes, there was a lot of luck in that game at the end. Or it seemed like just luck was on our side today, Mike, and usually it isn't. Jeremy says from the streets of El Dorado, Mike Antonace himself. Mike, what's your thoughts on today's game, brother? The floor is yours.
It was a defensive battle. You had two amazing defenses go head to head, arguably the two best defenses in the NFL. It was just a masterclass. Now, I will say, I think it's a little bit more impressive what the Browns did to the Packers offense than what the Packers offense or defense did to the Browns offense, because our offense is not good. It's not good. And which is unfortunate. But overall, I'm happy with obviously the win. One of the better teams in the NFL comes into town, and you take home the win no matter what. I thought we played great on all three levels of defense. My boy Carson Schlesinger continues to show out and look like a defensive rookie of the year candidate. And the only downside to that is the other candidate might also be on the same team because Mason Graham kept looking disruptive, was in the backfield. I think he had one total sack because he was credited with 2 half sacks, or he might have been only credited with the 1 half sack. I'm not sure. But corners played well enough. I liked seeing Miles Harden out there more, not rotating Cam Mitchell in, because Cam Mitchell was a huge weak spot of this defense. Shutting down the run game completely. That's 2 weeks in a row. You shut down Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs, 2 of the better running backs in the NFL. And some positives on offense. Harold Fannin Jr. continues to look great and look reliable and doesn't look like a rookie out there. And Quinshon Judkins looked as advertised. I mean, this kid had 18 carries, 97 yards, a touchdown, averaged about 5.2 yards a carry. I thought he was excellent. He's exactly what you expected him to be coming out of Ohio State. He does look like a bell cow back and the Browns running back of the future. But yeah, no, I was really happy. I was even more excited that Andrew Szmyt made both of his field goals, which led to the W. So hopefully that continues and we can just keep Szmyt because he's a very, very young player. But yeah, I mean, I was super, super happy. If I had to give a game ball to anybody, I'm going to give it to Grant Delpit. Grant Delpit was great in the run game today. Obviously had that interception that turned the tides of the game, helped us score 10 points in 30 seconds. And also it's his birthday. So I got to give the game ball to the birthday boy. Grant Delpit, who without that play, we would have lost the game.
He's actually had the last 2 weeks. He's had pretty good weeks. Maybe today he had 9 tackles, 6 solos, 1 interception, 1 pass deflection. I mean, he's been all over the place at strong safety. I think free safety is where they still need to find that, figure that out, which we talked about. But
free safety. He hasn't been great. Yeah, he hasn't been bad either.
No, but Grant, I think, has been a bright spot for the most part through 3 weeks. What was your thoughts there, though, Mike, when they saw the kick lined up there at the end? What was going through your head?
The first thought was worst case scenario, this goes to overtime. Me, the optimist is always, I'm like, even if he misses it, it's going to overtime. And then because I was like, it's 55-yarder, that's no gimme. But as soon as I saw it sail right through the uprights, I was like, I can't believe we just did that. I can't believe we just did that. I didn't think there would be a single game this season that would end up like this, considering how the Browns have played up to this point. I fully expected the Packers to win. I was just watching this. I was like, maybe they'll put in, Dillon Gabriel. That'll be fun to watch. Some of the young guys. obviously continue to watch the defense and the defensive rookies, but the fact that we were able to get the W, just amazing. One quick thing too is I want to make this clear. This does not mean we should keep going with Flacco. Flacco's play, not great. He missed Isaiah Bond 3 times. Isaiah Bond should have had a hell of a game today. And he was open quite often. And Flacco just kept missing him. I wonder if there was just some. What was that?
Go ahead. I think Jersey's echoing.
I wonder if there was a different quarterback in, what that day could have looked like for Isaiah Bond, and how much better the win could have been.
Yeah, he was definitely open a lot. That offense, obviously, like we all know, is still probably the worst offense in the league right now. Yeah, no passing game. They're constantly 3rd and long still at times. Every time I looked down at my phone today, I was watching on my phone all day when I was out doing stuff, and every time I looked down, it looked like we were 3rd and 8 still, or 3rd and or even the 3rd and short. We're not good on 3rd down. I don't like our first down play calling a lot either. I think we throw the ball too much on first down. I thought the drives where we were able to get some rhythm was when we actually ran the ball on first down and ran it effectively, and we were able to call something differently on 2nd down, and we had more manageable 3rd down, more consistently where we could just run it when the running game got rolling, or even the one play where they rolled Flacco out to the right. Because you were running the ball so well in the 4th quarter, you were able to hit that little out route to the sideline. I think it was Tillman that caught it, if I remember correctly. There in the 4th quarter, you converted that first down, or that 3rd down, excuse me. So, yeah, I don't know. The offense is going to be a whole different thing itself. I did not like the Luke Whippler out route at the end of the game, corner route, the end of the game in the end zone. Not sure who thought that was a good play, but let's never call that again. Chris, what was your thoughts on the game?
Our division rival just lost. Heck yeah, go Brownies. That was my thoughts on the game. No, I mean it was an ugly win, but that's just what the Browns are going to have to do. I mean, they're going to have to win ugly. Then there's nothing wrong with winning ugly because at the end of the day, it's winning. But that's just who the Browns are going to have to be until they figure out this offense. I still disagree with that statement. I think that they have the best defensive line by far in the league. I don't even think it's close. And a good defensive line can make a suspect secondary look good. And today, it made them look real good. Jordan Love was uncomfortable the whole time. I have no idea what Jordan Love was throwing to when he threw it to Grant Delpit. I have no idea what he was doing.
What did he do in the 4th quarter in that one? Remember when he rolled out right on that one play and he held the ball and Schweitzer got him? I mean, he had a weird 4th quarter with decision making.
It was actually kind of just a weird all around day in football. Like there was a ton of defensive touchdowns. The Rams were going to upset Philly and then they blocked a field goal to win the game. Then the Browns block a field goal. It was just kind of like an ugly, football offensive day for most of the NFL. Just a weird day, all around, but, so weird that I actually put in a bet that no touchdowns would be scored in tonight's game versus the Giants and the Chiefs. It was that kind of weird of day where I'm like, this is weird enough to happen tonight.
Especially those two teams don't look great.
Yeah, like the Panthers won 30-0.
Man.
And Penix was benched with 10 minutes left. Just some weird results.
Rough day for Corey, Mike.
Yeah, just a really weird.
That was all. I didn't watch that game, obviously, but I saw the recaps, and I was like, "Oh, that's bad."
Yeah, the Carolina Panthers have no business beating anyone by 30. So
Melvin looked really good.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just a weird day in football. But yeah, I think that they have the best defensive line in football. I think they sacked Jordan Love 5 times today. He looked
Yeah, 5
uncomfortable
times for
all day.
34 yards.
And to be honest with you, I actually think that the O line played pretty well today.
I
Green
thought
Bay
so too.
has some pass rushers on that team, and here they got to Jared Goff a lot. They got to Jaden Daniels a lot, and they didn't really get. I mean, they didn't really. I don't, did what 2 or 3 maybe
2
sacks?
sacks.
2
Yeah.
sacks. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was that. I think they played actually really well.
I mean,
But
I
again,
thought that the tackles were okay, but I mean, I don't expect a lot out of those tackles. I'm being honest. I mean, was it Cornelius Lucas 36, and you got the other guy who's a project young player. But I thought the interior is what they leaned on at the end of the game, especially in that running game. You know, those are your 3 guys you should be able to rely on: Batonio, Pochich, and Teller.
yeah. So I mean, again, great pass rush, great defensive line they have. Um, I mean, here they're going to make Jared Goff uncomfortable next week too. I think they're going to make a lot of quarterbacks uncomfortable. Um, to be completely honest with you, I mean, Jared Goff is no scrambler by any means. But you know, here at the end of the day, good job. I mean, they won ugly, and they're going to have to
Yeah.
continue to win ugly. But you know, here they got their first takeaway of the year. You know, uh, that's kind of why I'm like, are they truly the best unit, or are they just the best defensive line? Because I mean, why do they only have their first takeaway in 3 weeks? I mean, you, I don't know, but that secondary needs to take the ball away more. But again, great win. I mean, heck
Yeah.
yeah, screw the Packers.
Say from a Lions fan.
I cannot stand them. They are my number 1 most hated. So
Oh, yeah.
anytime they lose, I have a good day.
Lynch said the Browns have only given up 613 yards of total offense in 3 games. 172 rushing yards allowed in 3 games. And Mike, remember we said before the season, I thought that front 7 was one of the best in football on paper, just from what you could see. I mean, that defensive line, I expect that from that defensive line, Mike. I mean, at the end of the game, you got a guy in Aiden Huntington who doesn't even start, but he's playing a lot of minutes because he's so effective.
He's a
Malik
stud.
Collins, he's a stud, absolute steal with that kid. Malik Collins looked great today. And they don't even have Mike Hall back yet, Mike.
No, they don't have Mike Hall back. This is without, JOK is out for the season. Martin Emerson's out for the season. We have some guys that were missing, and that, I mean, we're still the best front 7 in the NFL. I mean, Carson Schwessinger, I can't say enough great things about
He's
this
awesome.
kid.
Yeah.
But he does not. It's amazing how many of our rookies are making a true blue impact immediately on offense, defense, special teams.
Well, when you're rebuilding, you're going to have to. You're going to have
but
to
it's
go
a
with
positive
rookies.
impact, is what I'm getting.
I think what you're seeing
Jordan
too
Love
is just. Go ahead.
Jordan Love gave him a free sack, by the way. I mean, I have no idea why Jordan Love didn't throw away that ball. Like, that made no sense.
Yeah,
made
that
no
was a bonehead
sense,
play.
but that whole sequence was awesome.
Like, hey, do me a favor. Like, just hit me. I mean, that's what I thought Jordan Love was saying there. Like, do me a favor and hit me. I don't get why he held on.
I didn't get it either. I remember Jersey and I were watching it, but Jersey was like, "What the hell are they doing?" And he'll be up here in a second. But I like the linebacker core as a whole, Mike. I like Schwessinger, and I like what Devin Bush. I thought's played decent. I thought he's I thought he's been effective. I mean, he's done his role and he's been productive. But I just think you're finally seeing this year, whether it's Tryon Shoyinka, McGuire, Alex Wright, whoever it is opposite of Miles, when you have a great interior like that, generating pressure like that, those guys are going to get free shots at the quarterback. And that's what you're seeing. So then Miles is going to do his thing. my only knock on the defense today, I did not like when we had them pinned down in their 1 yard line on that great punt by Corey Bojorquez, who's also having a great year. Do you remember, Mike, when we had him pinned down at the 1 yard line? We didn't have Myles Garrett out there for any of the 3 snaps. I did not understand that, especially on the third down. I don't understand that. And that third down too, the guy who's the other, Caden Davis? Is that who we subbed him in for? Yeah, is that his name?
Cam Thomas.
Thomas. Excuse me, Thomas. We put him out there at Miles' spot, and he had a free shot at Jordan Love right there in the end zone, and he slipped and fell, and Jordan Love completed that ball down the field to Matthew Golden. I don't understand why we didn't put Miles out there in that situation. I didn't like that, and that's one thing. Again, no more corner routes to Luke Whippler, and let's get Miles out there when it's when they're on the 1 yard line, the best defense player in the league. Why not have him out there? That's the only knock I have on the defense today is that I did not like that. But I thought Jim Schwartz, though, his unit continues to look ready and prepared, and they impress every week with high energy, and they're going to keep that team in the game in a lot of games.
And the 12 men on the field on a punt.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, the 12 men on the field, that can't happen.
Yeah,
there's still things. Yeah, there's still a lot of things from a coaching perspective coming out of this game that I need to see fixed a lot. There were still a lot of things I did not like today. But
yeah, whatever.
They still found a way to win. But it is what I think. They got areas that they can still improve, obviously. So good teams let rookies play early, let them learn from their mistakes, unless it's quarterback. And I think this team, Mike and Gerg, they're in this unique situation where the guys they drafted were actually they didn't have no competition. I mean, when they came in here, because the guys they had last year either out the door or just weren't good enough. So
look at Bill Cowher's face in that photo. I mean, what is that?
He's probably upset because he had to get the Browns a compliment. That's probably what it is. But
sorry, it was staring at me. So,
by the way, this graph was crazy at the end of the game. We'll get Jersey up here now. What's up, Jersey? Welcome to the show. Got you.
Good evening.
Audio. Yeah, we can hear you good. Jersey, right there at the end of the game, you and I watched it all unfold in the fourth quarter together, and you can see the graph there, the probability, how it just dramatically dropped as the fourth quarter went on. And so, yeah, but Jersey, you're at our takes. What was your thoughts? Holy Szmyt, what was your thoughts on the game today?
Well, it's just typical Browns fashion. You think there's no way in hell they're going to win the game. Only the Browns would win a game like that with, throwing a corner route to the center from the 1 yard line. Just some of the goofy shit they did. Getting to the 1 yard line, getting back out 20-something yards, getting bailed out by penalties, but then still able to get it done. So, I mean, I'm not going to bash. I mean, a lot of bizarre things going on, things that are going on that will keep them from winning games this year. Talk about the offense, but they got it done today. I'll give the coaches credit for coaching all the way to the end, and guys making plays and pulling out a victory. So it was just amazing to see that, because it's normally at Brown Stadium that field goal's missed. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
but that defense is just it's just amazing. I mean, 600 yards in 3 games. 100 would Jeremy have up 167 rushing yards?
Anytime and they held Josh Jacobs to 30 yards today, and he averaged 1.9 yard a rushing attempt.
Gosh, it's just an indictment on the offense. My gosh, it's typically that's you won a game with that. You know what I mean? Limited a team to less than 60 yards a game in rushing.
It should be 3-0.
Yeah, it's just gosh darn, man. I feel bad for those defensive players. I mean, they're out there, like Cowher said, might be the best defense in the league again, and get an offense that's just sputtering. So I don't know. I mean, it's just terrible. I mean, that's almost like if they went the whole season at that. I mean, that's almost like historic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The defense. Oh, by the way, and so and it's still probably only pull out a few victories. It's just an indictment, just terrible. And great for the fans today. I love seeing it when they kick that field goal, man. Just seeing all those people that work their asses off, pay for those tickets, and it was awesome. I mean, that's the great thing about Cleveland fans. I mean, you would have thought that team had won 4 Super Bowls, you know, was 16-0 on the season. I mean, that's what makes Cleveland fans the best, man. And yeah, so
Yeah,
not
Mike,
much
what were
else you
you
could
like
say.
at the end of the game, Mike? Real quick, what was your reaction, Mike? Because you always got how loud were you screaming, Mike?
I was screaming pretty loud, guys. I mean, though throughout the whole game, there were a couple times I was like, yeah, but for the most part, I was pretty subdued because, like, not gonna lie, our conversations on the show and just the overall vibe around the team, because I keep my eyes online, Twitter, all that stuff, and Browns pages, NFL pages to keep up on everything. And not gonna lie, it's pretty negative all the time.
Yeah, it is.
So I went in with like zero expectations, just being like, yeah, we're probably gonna lose. Hope the rookies continue to look good. It is what it is. So I was pretty subdued up until Grant Delpit's interception. And even after that, like, again, it was like, you go to like level 10 and then, you're on the 1 yard line. All of a sudden there's a holding call. Then it's a field goal. Now the Packers are lining up a field goal on the 35 and you're like, all right, that's the game. I think the loudest I got was with the block punt. Because I was like, that gave me the most hope. I was like, there's no fucking way.
Jeremy said, "Did you spill your beer?"
No, as a matter of fact,
They were
I
already
knew I knew I was going someplace after, so I was decidingly
playing it
not
smart.
drinking a whole lot today. I was a responsible little boy.
There you go. Good job. But yeah, I mean, like I'm going back to the point you said, Jersey. I said there's some stuff with the coaching staff I still need to see get a lot better, especially particularly offensively. But one thing I will give them a lot of credit for today is those guys did not quit in that game. They played their ass off to the end of the game and found a way to win. I think that you got to give them credit for that. They are out there playing hard and stuff. They're not quitting and stuff in games. I just think they still got some areas they got to improve. Jeremy said our offense had 54 first downs in 3 games, and it's not good. We've only allowed 39 first downs in 3 games. So they've had 54 first downs for an offense in 3 games, and we've only gave up 39, which is impressive from a defensive standpoint. That's pretty phenomenal. Less than 40. But Jersey, what did you think? Shout out to DBI. He said Victory Monday. DB's in the house. Jersey, what did you think in the fourth quarter really was? I mean, did the Juckins started running, pretty effectively? I know running backs are your favorite. It seemed like once he got going in that fourth quarter and they were going to run the ball finally instead of just trying to air it out. Again, today they only threw the ball 36 times, where the first 2 games they threw it 45 times each game. Today, only 36 times, and they ran the ball more. And I think they ran the ball more in the fourth quarter. In the first half, I have it right here. The first half, they ran the ball 7 times. They ran the ball in the first half, I believe. Was it 9 times, excuse me. 9 times they ran the ball in the first half, and they ended the game with 19 rushing attempts.
And look what happened. You know what I mean? It's just amazing what happens when you run the ball, when you stick to it, and you can run it effectively. It's just mind-boggling that they don't do that, and then it just keeps throwing on first down. Even when they were still running the ball and Judkins was ripping off his runs, they would still go back to the pass. Like, just fucking run the ball, like what they used to do with Hunt and Chubb. I mean, they get in the fourth quarter and just start grinding defenses down. I mean, you want to talk about demoralizing a defense, sucking the life out of them. That's what you do. And you draft 2 running backs. You got 3 in your stable. Run the gosh darn ball. I mean, It's amazing what happens when you start running the ball. I think those runs by Judkins probably started building some momentum. Putting some life back into the team. I know it would for me. I see my guy running like that. So I would just love to see him do that. Yeah, just go to 50-50. My gosh, and stick to the run. And so that alone, they'll score more points. I mean, it's no wonder the offense hasn't scored any points. They're throwing the ball so much. I mean, even with this coaching staff and some of the bizarre shit they do, if they would just even it out, they'll score more points than they are right now. I mean, it's just football 101. So, yeah, and I want to see more. I do want to see more Judkins. You know what I mean? So I think it's the Samps. How many carries did Sampson get? Was Sampson playing? Was they playing him earlier in the game?
Yeah, he didn't get a whole lot today. He only
No.
had 1 carry for 2 yards. So he didn't really get much productivity out of him today.
And what the hell's up with that?
I think they were worried about him on third down if he had to come in as a blocker, blocking their Green Bay's linebackers if there was an open blitzer, just because he kind of got blown up by Roquan last week a couple times, and unless it was a for sure like run down or pass down, I think that's the reason why they cycled Jerome in more, because Jerome is a bigger body and can be that like max protect blocker. Dillon's got to put a little bit more weight on before he can do that, I think, or he's got to work in the weight room and with the running backs coach just a little bit more. But McDuffie,
Mike, after game 1, you were ranting and raving about Sampson.
Oh, I love him. He's fantastic.
No. You couldn't get enough of Sampson. But now, you're giving us all the reasons why this coaching staff is doing the right thing by not playing him.
Well, I'm just giving a reason as to why. I mean, it's factual. He did get blown up twice, causing sacks, and the play being dead. Like Sampson is a great player.
But that's what I'm saying. If you're, and maybe if they would commit to the run more, they'd need the other back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't. The guy looked really good his first game, and now he's basically non-existent the last 2 games. I don't understand it. So,
well, those two.
But I guess it don't matter when you're throwing the fucking ball 50 times a game.
Were those 2 sacks, Mike, on third down he gave up?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's my issue would be why there's a reason why you're throwing the ball like you want to on third down, like because you're constantly third and long. And like today, their third down efficiency is still 4-13. So,
well, I mean, here I'm not saying we're talking about Sampson as a blocking back. Give him some carries.
No, but I know
mean?
that. But I'm saying my point is if you run the ball more on first and second down, you maybe won't be in those positions like you are on third down. How many times on first down guys do we see them this year so far where it's a wasted play, incomplete pass? A lot on first down. Football's situational. First and second down go together. Third down is a situation in itself because you have to convert it, and then fourth down and punt and red zone. It's all situational, and first and second down always go together. And we constantly on first, second down put ourselves in bad spots. But we're third down where we got to, get put in those positions where we got to rely on a guy like Sampson to block a Parsons on the outside, or put Ford in there to block them, or we don't do a good enough job of keeping ourselves on schedule as an offense. And I think a lot of that can start with just better play calling and what we can do. Do what we're good at right now, which is running the ball, I think, more vertically, and not throwing the ball as much on first down like we are until maybe you make a quarterback change or something. We'll see, because Flacco right now, it's just if the first read ain't there or he gets a little pressure, he just hit the check down, or it's just going to be in the dirt.
Yeah. 3rd and 25, check down. You know what I mean? Just
yeah, it was 3rd and 20. We hit the check down.
Right, run the ball.
Or no, it was after the penalty member on second down. He hit the check down to Ford. I think Ford is even surprised he got the ball because it was 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Talk about a guy that shouldn't be on the field. I don't mind Junkins being the horse because he's a freak, he's a stud. But when he's out, can you put in Sampson? I mean,
Right.
Why in the world is Jerome Ford in the game? He stinks.
I don't know why Jerome Ford's out there on a passing down. He should be out there running the ball or just pass blocking.
Or on special teams. Because that's where he belongs. Jerome Ford's just not good. Can we stop? Why?
I agree with that wholeheartedly. If they're looking for a dude who's just like out there to pass block because they're worried about Sampson, I would rather Rocket Sanders over Jerome Ford. You know, I liked Rocket Sanders about the same size, if not a little bit bigger. You know, and they already had him do like some short yardage stuff in game one. Like, I'd like to see him, opted into being active over Jerome Ford, in my opinion, as well. If they're going to have 3 running backs in the rotation.
Well, here, Jerome Ford, they phased him out a long time ago because he was Stump's guy. So Jerome Ford never really had a shot here. Jerome Ford, they really should just part ways. Is what they should do. They should have did last offseason.
Trade him.
Yeah, they should trade him. The guy, I still believe, has good talent. He didn't forget how to run the ball coming out of Cincinnati. And his coach that drafted him still says he's still a damn good back. I know a lot of people still believe that. He's just not. He's in a situation where he's not wanted. So,
well, he's in a situation where they don't run the ball.
They don't run the ball, and then when they put him out there, they put him in situations where, and then they have their media out there put out these narratives that the guy's not good, and people believe it. So, again, it is what it is. They don't want him here. They want to phase him out because just like they would a lot of other guys, if you were Dorsey's guy or if you were whoever or the guys they fired, it's the way they justify their firings, their horrific firings they made 2 years ago. So let's just phase them out. That's all that is. So, but again, I think they should move on from him so he can get a better start somewhere else and they can just be done with it. And like Mike said, let's see this Raheem Sanders guy play more. Then you took him or you picked him up off the street. Let's just play him then. But I don't understand why their usage of the backs, like you said, Jersey, on third down, especially, or second down. I like to see Sampson more involved. I mean, if you're going to throw checkdowns, why not throw him to checkdowns? Week 1, he was great in checkdowns. I think he had a lot of yards after the catch on checkdowns in week 1.
All right. If you want to, as much as you want to pass the ball, just put him out there for that shit. You know what I mean? I just don't. I don't understand it. Let's get ourselves in a 3rd and long on every possession. Let's just work ourselves to a 3rd and long, and then we'll hit the check down. We're not even. I say this all the time, guys. We're not even obviously anywhere near the NFL as far as like working in the NFL, coaching, working on a sideline, and we know this shit. I mean, I watch high school teams. I watch a high school team every Friday night run an offense better than these clowns do. I mean, it's just know by place selection alone. It's what the hell are they doing?
Well, if you remember 2 years ago at home, and remember the week before Deshaun. Remember when Deshaun had that game in Baltimore? I think Mike left. Remember the week in Baltimore?
Oh God.
Anyways, remember the week in Baltimore when Deshaun had that win before he got hurt in 2023, and they won on that kickoff. I mean, the week before that, they played at home against the Cardinals, and they won in dominant fashion. They blew them out. And according to Jay Crawford this week, he said that he heard from a reporter that after that game, somebody was walking in the locker room, and a reporter was standing by Haslam, and somebody said, "Yeah, it was a great win to Haslam." And Haslam's response was, "We should have threw it more." And so, you hear what Aditi King of Blah said last year, the sideline reporter for CBS, about how, she doesn't believe Stefanski has the full autonomy to do what he wants. So maybe that's to answer your question. Maybe that's where that all leads back to, like usual.
Well, he does.
But according to some people, though, Jersey, it's conspiracy theory now. It's conspiracy, and that shit. So.
We have a meddling. We've had Al Davis is a meddling owner. Everyone knows that Jerry's a meddling owner, but there's just no way the Browns owner is a meddling owner. No way Haslam is, right?
Yeah.
It's just conspiracy theory. I here. I just don't think somebody like Kevin Stefanski, something's wrong. I mean, I just thought, just thinking about this. I mean, he's been running offenses long enough. He knows this shit. I mean, you're probably hearing it. There's probably validity to it. They're being told to throw the ball,
Yeah,
or
they are.
or just run them pure. Here, I don't even think analytics would support throwing the ball 50 times. So there's no way it
It's
does.
a group of people that are running a lot of things in that organization that, in my opinion, they're trying to be smarter than everybody else in football, and it ain't working. But
Well, you're trying.
I when I hear my coach doesn't have that full autonomy, I don't like that. Stefanski, at least
Well,
he
you're
put Molt Deck. He was in the NFL for I think 16 years before he came here. And built his way up, from the ground up. Why not let him? I think he knows a lot more about it than they do.
well, yeah, but they're also, if that's the case, they're trying to change the game of football, the process to winning games. It's been around for over 100 something years. It's just never going to happen.
No.
So I mean, thank gosh for the defense. I mean, because you typically don't win a game with 13 points.
Yeah, all you got to do is score 20 points to beat the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
I mean, so the Lions next week just scored 20.
And again,
where's that game?
Article I got on the screen for you
Detroit.
guys. This goes back to 2022. From Jonathan Jones of CBS Sports. All the people that say it's conspiracy and not true, I don't know where that comes from. He said there could be well coaching staff changes this offseason for the Browns, and there could be some tweaks to the offensive philosophy as well. Team owner Jimmy Haslam is a University of Tennessee alumnus who closely watched the air raid offense the Volunteers have installed to great success in the SEC. And it went on to say how the Browns had the third most rushing yards with Chubb and Hunt at that time, but yet we're going to throw the ball more. So again, anybody says it's conspiracy, it's been written, and this isn't just one guy. There's local reporters as well.
It's just crazy too, because like an air raid offense wouldn't even. It's like completely different from the defense you have. Like you have to win games with the defense that you have. You don't have an air raid offense. It's shortening the game. It's like it's running. Like it's like you like controlling the line of scrimmage. Like all those things you have a defensive setup for, like, hey, we're gonna ground, we're gonna pound, we're gonna D you up, we're gonna win games. Like it not hey, we're gonna throw the ball 50 times a game and then play such great, like it just doesn't even make sense. It just doesn't even mesh. Like no. You look at the defense and you're like, wow, that's like the line just completely dominated today. That defensive line, that front seven, oh my gosh, they're nasty. Dominated. Like Jordan Love was uncomfortable. He got sacked 5 times. I mean, it was just a dominating front seven. Great job. Confused the heck out of Jordan Love. Jordan Love couldn't get the deep throws that he loves, like all those things. And yet it's like, wouldn't you want to, I don't know. It's just so weird. It's just so weird.
I don't know. Again, that's I agree, and I think that's the reason why too Stefanski won those Coach of the Year awards, not because of the success they had this season, but because I think a lot of people behind the scenes know what he actually has to put up with. I think that's why today he was kind of looked kind of emotional after that win. Because he knows where they are. I'm sure he has a reality check of what he knows where they're at as an organization, where they're going, what their goals are. And, but I think that's a lot of it, though. It goes back to that. I mean, it's amazing though when they ran the ball more in the fourth quarter. They committed to the running, and look how it set them up. and they actually got down the field and were able to, score a touchdown. I mean, it's incredible when you just actually, like you said, we were just alluding to, Gergs, actually play football to your strengths and what you're good at. I don't know. Especially now.
Eric,
Go ahead.
and the other thing is too, when you throw the ball that much, you're putting so much strain on your offensive line. I mean,
They can never impose their will.
Right.
And I played offensive line. We imposed our will running the ball.
And it stresses them. You know what I mean? It's like, imagine that. You got to go into pass pro 50 something times a game. You know what I mean? Instead of just being
tired.
Right. Yeah. Instead of just being a run block and wear the fucking defense down. So you got to, here.
Fun.
Trenches.
Yeah.
All about the trenches.
Strength on strength next week, baby. Great offense.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that matchup next week between your offense and our defensive front seven, because I know Detroit likes to run the ball.
Don't you dare give Jared Goff enough time to hit Jameson Williams, because let me tell you.
Well, it depends who do we have guarding Jameson Williams. That's what I want to know. If it's Denzel, I feel okay, because Denzel can run stride for stride with anybody. But if it's other guys, maybe you might be right.
Oh, well, put Denzel on Jameson Williams and have fun with St. Brown.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Brown's going to be
Brown.
just cruising.
Mike, what are you looking at? Real quick, Mike, I think next St. Brown and Miles Harden, that's going to be an interesting matchup next week. I'm not sure how thrilled I am about that, but I like Miles Harden plays hard. But
Sam Laporta, woo! Don't give them much time. If Jared Goff, they're the king of the play action. If you give them time, good night. That offense will pick you apart. But the good news is Green Bay doesn't. Green Bay didn't, and that's why they lost to the Packers earlier in the year, because
my gosh,
they did well. So
are you guys watching?
If the Browns can cause havoc and get to Jared Goff, who knows? It might be
they can flush him out of the pocket a lot, which I think they can. Then it could be a game going in the fourth. You never know, because the Browns have this. I think they could just dirty up a game and make it like today, where it's like slow, not a lot of offense for both sides, and then going to the fourth, it's just kind of like today, where it can come down to that. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I think next week will be, like you said, that St. Brown matchup next week. I think it's going to be. We'll dictate that from the beginning of the game.
And Gibbs too. I mean, Gibbs is a stud out of the backfield. It's going to be fun to watch, to see who and what happens there.
Yeah. Whoever decision was the draft fan and maybe the steal of the draft. Micah, is he the steal of the draft?
See, here's the thing. He's a steal because he fell to the third. There's no reason he should have, though. The only reason here's the thing. He had the best season out of any tight end ever in college football history. It's just that he played in the MAC. That's his only downside. Now, my steal of the draft, Fannin, because he was a third-round draft pick, there's an argument to be made. I've talked about him all night so far. I'm going to continue to. I'm still going to say Carson Schlesinger is the steal of the draft. When you have somebody that could possibly win Defensive Rookie of the Year and who's become such an immediate, not just focal point, but a game changer on defense and stopping the run, good in the pass, can blitz, Schlesinger should have been a first-round pick. And there were reports that came out that there were two teams considering taking him in the first. So I'm going to hang my hat on Carson Schlesinger still being the steal of the draft at being the 33rd overall pick for the Browns.
Is it safe to say, too, I think that the Browns win that trade, and is Mason Graham the best player out of the players in that top five right now?
By the numbers, yes. Abdul Carter, man, I might have been real wrong about him. Mason Graham has definitely been the most productive. Out of that pick, you got Mason Graham, you got Quinshon Judkins, Jacksonville's next year's first. in my opinion, so far it's looking that way. It's still early.
Because Cam Ward's looks like a rookie.
Cam Ward looks like a rookie.
Travis Hunter's still trying to find his role. Abdul Carter hasn't been as dominant as Mason Graham. And Will Campbell, I haven't seen him, but maybe he's played great. I mean, offensive tackle.
He looks like a starting left tackle. He looks like a starting.
But Mason Graham, to me, I think, has had the biggest impact out of all those guys in that top 5. Mainly the 3 defensive players: Hunter, Carter. Obviously, Hunter go both ways, but Hunter, Carter, and Graham. Graham looks like the best.
Yeah, he's done something that the Browns have been trying to do for the past 5 years, which is solidify the defensive interior. We finally have a rotation that's not just good but great.
You got 4 guys that are all very reliable, and him, Mike Hall when he comes back, Malik Collins, and Aiden Huntington.
Yeah,
I was even say Shelby Harris. Really 5 deep. Yeah. So
because Shelby Harris is the one that that was his big paw that blocked that punt. He's great on in the run game, great in special teams. That's always been his bag, even when he was back in Denver. So what
do you expect with Mike Hall when he comes back? You guys can answer, Jersey. You want to add to that too, because you watch a lot of Mike Hall from Streetsboro to Ohio State. I mean, they haven't had him back yet, Mike. I wonder what that's going to look like when he comes back.
Yeah, it should be great. I mean, I know they're probably going to put him in the back end of the rotation to start just to get his feet wet again. But once he gets rolling, man, watch out.
You guys else you want to add to that?
Oh, it's great. Just more depth. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you can't have enough of it.
Just nice to see an Ohio State player behind a Michigan player on the depth chart. That's what I got to add.
Yeah, okay.
You just had to throw the jab in you, bro. You just couldn't help yourself, could you, Squidward? Couldn't help yourself.
The march to 1-16 is on, says Ro. Flacco looks like a damn statue. He can't move out of the pocket. It's time to see the rookie quarterbacks. Joe's old, slow, and decrepit. So that's my question for you guys. The main question tonight before we get out of here is, we'll go around the horn here. I guess who wants to go first on this?
I'll go first.
Go ahead, Mike. Should Joe Flacco still be starting a quarterback, or is it time to hand over to Dillon Gabriel?
It's time to hand it over to Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders or me. Who knows? I think it couldn't have been. We won this game in spite of Joe Flacco. Now, I'm not going to say the play calling was perfect, because it wasn't. But that being said, I said at the beginning of the show, and I still hang my hat on it, Isaiah Bond should have had a massive game, but didn't, because Flacco didn't even see him twice. And once he just overthrew him on a 20-yard, what was that, a breaking route, just completely overthrew him. And it just slipped through his hands. I don't think you're going to lose too much, other than maybe, the pre-snap, adjustments and getting everybody organized. That Flacco, that's the one plus with Flacco, is he will do that because, he's a 20-year vet in the NFL. But as far as offensive capability, how much do you have to lose to put in Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders? I don't think it's much. I mean, if Dillon Gabriel's this Hawaiian supercomputer, like everybody's saying, and has the arm that he does, I don't think you lose too much as far as offensive capability, replacing Flacco with Gabriel. Plus, the kid's got wheels. So if a play does break down, maybe he can scramble for 4 or 5 yards or make turned something out of nothing. Flacco just doesn't have that ability. And, Kevin Stefanski does like to run a little bit of pistol. He likes to run bootlegs. Flacco can't run a bootleg. He certainly can't run pistol. So maybe you open up the playbook a little bit, get Gabriel's feet wet. I don't know if you do it next week, but man, you don't have a lot to lose at this point. I mean, the offense can't get much worse. So,
Chris?
I stand by. I think if you put the rookies out there, I mean, what are you going to hear? Today all you heard was boos, right? I mean,
yeah, those boo birds.
Yeah. So, which again, I'm not saying is bad, because trust me, it was worth booing, but you don't really have. I mean, you don't have the offense around the quarterbacks that makes them succeed if you're not going to run the ball and you're going to put a rookie out there and expect him to throw 39 times to, Jerry Jeudy, who somehow just, I don't even know, maybe he forgot how to catch. I mean, first off, that wasn't a pass interference in the end zone. I have no idea why they called it. But secondly, it still hit his hands. Why didn't he catch it?
He's had a drop every game this year.
I don't understand what's going on with him. Isaiah Bond, I mean, yeah, he got some separation today, that's for sure. But again, I mean, timing's going to be off with Isaiah Bond and whoever the quarterback is, because he literally showed up 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. And so I don't, obviously Joe Flacco is not playing well. There's no doubt about it. He can't move. He looks old. 1000%. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you're putting whoever you put in there, Shador Sanders or Dillon Gabriel, into a situation that I don't know if you should. I don't know if you should put them in a situation where it's basically a situation to fail. And then now you have Cleveland Browns fans, because of what you did by drafting 2 rookies, that already half of them want Shador, half of them want Dillon Gabriel. So now, the moment either one of them do bad, whoever you choose to go in, what's going to happen? They're going to get booed out of the stadium. They're going to lose their confidence. They're going to get traded, and then somehow they're going to go to the Buccaneers and be great. No, I'm just kidding. But about that. But you get what I'm saying. I mean, you're putting them into an impossible situation in my view. I don't know. And not to mention, you're going to be playing the Vikings in a couple weeks. That defense is good. I don't know. When your schedule gets lighter, maybe go to them.
I thought maybe the Dolphins game.
Yeah, but
is that you got the Vikings and you got, I think, Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh, and then you're back home against the Dolphins. I thought the Dolphins, if you're looking for a good game, maybe that one.
But here's the thing again, when you typically you have a backup quarterback and you have people complain about, the starting quarterback, they'll say, put in whoever the backup is. But half the Browns fans don't even want the backup. They want Shador.
Well, I don't know if they're really Browns fans. I think they're just Shador fans.
But you get what I'm saying. So
I
you
know.
already have a split, and neither one of them have seen any real action. So it's just kind of funny how I just don't know why they put that on any of them. That to me is just, I don't know. I as a Lions fan, I say throw them out there next week. But I don't think it's a smart decision to do that.
Jersey?
I say you change them out now. I mean, the offense is so bad. I mean, and I would put Shador out there because his confidence isn't going to waver, and he's over 6 foot. So, I mean, what do you got to lose? Like Mike said, I mean, the offense is atrocious. I mean, it can only get better. I think if you got a guy out there that's not, just stiff as a board, that can actually move around a little bit, it might be to your advantage. So, because he's not throwing a ball like he did 2 years ago, so you might as well just. I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna keep running him. At some point, you're gonna have to put him in. So it's terrible that offense looks. Yeah, I mean, now if they didn't look so bad, I'd say no, don't. But obviously, I just make change now. Here, they're and run Shador. So,
Mr. 3000 said just stopping in to say, hey, we'll be watching replay tomorrow morning. What's up, Mr. 3000? Good to see you, brother. Jeremy said, I agree. It can't hurt anything. It can't be worse. I think, in my opinion, I agree. I would swap him now because I think I would put Shador out there though, because I think Shador, how they've divvied up reps in practice throughout the preseason and kind of where he's at, I think he's going to need more time to maybe get ready. I think Gabriel, I think he's ready because they've gave him the ample amount of reps.
So he got a lot more reps in the off season.
Oh yeah, I mean, Mike,
Oh, okay. I didn't
he
know
had
that.
more.
A ton more.
Yeah, he had a ton more of the
Okay.
first team reps.
Yeah.
And he had a. But guess who's played the most games in college football history?
Dillon Gabriel.
Dillon Gabriel. So I think Dillon Gabriel could go in there. I mean, you saw Bo Nix played a hell of a lot of games in college, and he came in year one and was able to be effective. I think he's the most. He's only 24, I believe. He's played the most games in college. I thought he was pretty good.
He's so short though.
He is short, although I thought he's looked efficient when he's been out there. He's able to move the chains and stuff. I think that the reason though why it may not happen this week is like Chantel says, Fancy already said Joe is starting against the Lions. I think the reason why though he might not be starting right now is because that's actually there's adjustments to that. There's a difference when like having a left-handed quarterback, not only because he's short, but he's left-handed. That's adjustment for a lot of your. You got to everything you do in your offense on bootlegs and stuff. How you're calling, you have to flip it because it's reversed with a left-handed quarterback, and it's a different. You ask receivers in the NFL about it, they'll tell you that there's an adjustment with a left-handed guy, the way the ball comes out on certain routes, where they have to catch it, where their hands are. So it's an adjustment as a whole more than people think when you go to a left-handed guy. So I think that could be a lot of it too. They're just kind of trying to get a lot of that stuff squared away. I'm sure he's probably, if I had to bet, he's probably getting more reps increased with the first team during practice weeks, at least starting this week. I think he will. So I think eventually he will start. Probably, I think they're going to put him out there in that Dolphins game. Like I keep saying, I don't think they're going to put him out there next week. Oh, they already said they aren't. They're not going to put him out there in London. I don't think they're going to put him out there at Pittsburgh. I think they'll put him out there probably when they get home for the Dolphins game. I think that's perfect. They probably viewed it as a good game to throw him out there. Some people say it doesn't really matter. It's the NFL. Every week's, it's a challenge and blah, blah. But I get that. But I think they're going to take their time. I think he's a guy. If there's one guy I think you could throw out there right out the bat, and I think he could handle it, I think he could. I mean, he's played, again, the most college starts or most games played in college football history. And what you don't really have anything else to lose. I mean, Joe Flacco many, many times today when he dropped back in the pocket should have been sacked, but he somehow got away. He couldn't. He was so slow stepping up in the pocket, and I think you could do a little more with Gabriel in that offense. You could run Gabriel a little more. You could do more RPOs. You can run more pistol sets. You can boot him out in the pocket more. I think it can't get worse than what you got. You could rely on the running game with Judkins and that interior, and I think you can put him out there. I think he'll be fine. I don't think it'd be that big of a deal. I mean, I don't know if they view him as the long-term answer anyway. I think they view him more as a backup. So might as well get him some experience. I mean, maybe he's the next Bo Nix. You never know. But I would make the change personally. I just think you can't get worse.
How many interceptions for Dillon Gabriel to throw before Browns fans are booing him and calling for Shador Sanders?
Depends to how many touchdowns.
Well, we already know that the Browns don't do that.
But he's a guy, though. I get with the height, the interception, but his style of play, though, he is very efficient. He's not a very turnover-prone guy.
Oh, I like him.
I think if you're going to throw a lot of these short routes, I think he can march that offense down the field. I just want to see a different ability. Like what Jeremy said, the running ability of Gabriel may open up the running lane. I think just having a guy with more mobility. Again, if you're going to have a bad offensive line or an inconsistent offensive line that's rebuilding, I think it's better to have a guy that's more mobile because he can create something. A lot of those plays that are instead of what we got right now, we're just dirting them and we're just wasting plays.
Joe, I agree. I'm not attacking his ability and saying that his ability. I'm just saying, obviously, he's a rookie, right? Interceptions, right. Are going to happen. Yeah. But a logical fan would say that. A drunk fan would say that. A logical 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 fan would would say that. A drunk fan in Cleveland on a Sunday afternoon is not going to be saying that. I mean, I was at the Lions Browns game when Baker Mayfield, and I was not only hearing, I mean, I took Jace, and my goodness, I heard, I mean, I had to cover his ears multiple times because, you know, there was Browns fans literally threatening Baker Mayfield's life and also Stefanski's life for still playing him. So I don't, I guess you gotta obviously think of that when you're just throwing him out there, knowing that your offense just sucks anyways. I've said it multiple times in the show. I don't know how many quarterbacks that you could place on the Cleveland Browns with that offense right now, and the way they call the plays and all those things, and would succeed. I know there's some, but I don't know how
well,
many.
I have a different. I have actually another thing I'm gonna add. What I would do too, not to cut you up, but just to answer that, once I put Gabriel out there, I'm handing over the play calling to Tommy Rees. That's what I would do. And I've been saying that for a while.
You know, that's not going to happen, though.
Well, I mean, it happened last year. We made a quarterback change. I mean, he did it once.
If it happens again, though, he's basically saying he failed again, and that's the end of his job.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'll pull up. I'm gonna find it. Mary Kay said recently too that it's could be considered this year as well.
Well, do that now too. Do that first. My gosh, we shouldn't be worried about just change the play caller.
I think Reese would be. I think Kevin could benefit from that personally. I think it worked last year when that little glimpse they had. But I think too, you know, Tommy Reed, you know, him and Van Pelt thought alike, so he can rely on Van Pelt, lean on Van Pelt, and he had Bill Callahan too as a run game coordinator back then. I think now he's brought in some guys, or whatever brought him in was different philosophies. I think Tommy Rees, could. What he had at Alabama was a more mobile guy. He didn't have a statue back there. He's always had mobile quarterback guys who can, you know, he prefers that. Comes from the college, you know, level, obviously. So I think a guy like him and Gabriel, I think they could probably mesh well, personally. And I think why not try it out? I mean, I just think it'd be a better. I think it'd be a better fit because Stefanski's only knows one offense. That's the offense he's always come from, and I just don't know. And I think if you want to get the best, if you do make that change with Gabriel, I think why not try it out and hand it over the play calling and see. But I think it'd be better for Kevin as a head coach, but in managing the game. But I think also it would be you might get the most out of Dillon too.
You kind of just need Kevin to resign. No, I'm just kidding. No, honestly, I think he'll be done at the end of this year unless they somehow turn it around and somehow he'll win Coach of the Year instead. Because for some reason, I don't understand it. But yeah, I don't know. I think you start Flacco for at least the next 3 weeks. Then you could talk against the Dolphins because it's a lighter opponent. You gain some confidence. He goes in there to Detroit. Gabriel stinks it up. Shore Sanders stink it up. Then now you have another conversation, and it's just where does it end? You're not going to go back to Flacco once you leave it. So
no, once you pull him, that's it.
Yeah. So Gabriel stinks it up for what, 5, 6, 7 weeks. Are you really going to go then to Shador and give up after 5 weeks? I mean, that I just don't get why they drafted those two quarterbacks. That to me was instant failure, and you're setting them both up for failure. In my opinion, I don't get it.
Here's the report from Mary Kay Cabot. In case you guys didn't see, I don't think a lot of people saw this. This was a couple weeks ago on Ken and Lima show in the morning on 92.3 The Fan. Here's what she said about the play calling with Tommy Rees.
That the game could turn there.
What's Tommy Rees' role now within the offense now that Kevin Stefanski has taken back over play calling? Has it gone back to like Alex Van Pelt?
Well, it's kind of like that unless Kevin decides to turn the play calling over to Tommy Rees. And we don't know for sure yet if he's decided to do that or not. I think he'll probably start out at least calling the plays himself, because this is a brand new offense. And sometimes you want to see what it looks like out on the grass before you put it in the hands of someone else and put that responsibility on someone else. But Tommy, by all accounts, is a brilliant offensive mind. And if it makes sense for Kevin to turn it over to him, then I think he'll do that at some point.
Well, Kevin could actually turn over play calling.
Well, he turned it over to Ken last year, so I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibility. We haven't heard anything about that yet, but I do think that at some point, Tommy possesses the ability to do that very, very well. And Kevin, this is, again, not an ego thing for Kevin. If he thinks that's the right thing to do, then he'll go ahead and do it.
How close is Mike Hall?
And so I think she answered a couple questions there that I kind of see when I watch this team. She said one thing there. Let me turn it off in my ear. She said that the one thing she said there, she said this is a new offense they're running. And everybody said we were going back to the old offense, but I haven't really seen a whole lot of that old offense. So I think she is right that this is kind of a newer offense they're trying to run. But the problem with that is you have the wrong quarterback. You have a statue back there trying to run the system. I think that's why they're so limited. And that's why I think, and you heard what she said there too about, Kevin would be open to it, to handing over the play calling. And it sounds a lot like last year, Mike in Jersey, when I said this about Ken Dorsey's offense, that Kevin was trying to call an offense that he wasn't real familiar with in the beginning of that year. And then once he turned it, and obviously they changed the quarterback with Jameis, or when he had to come in because Deshaun got hurt. But you just saw a difference in that attack with that offense. I mean, Jerry Jeudy was like a different player when that happened. But you had the guy calling his own offense, and Ken Dorsey, an offense he was familiar with. Like I said last year, Kevin was like a guy, like an Italian chef, a guy who's only cooked Italian ingredients his whole life and recipes, and you go throw him in a Mexican restaurant. Yeah, they have some similarities in terms of like certain types of produce they use and stuff, but it's different flavors, different spices. You got to know what you're doing. And I think that's kind of what it was last year. And I wonder, listening to that again, it sounds like that might be what's going on again this year. That's why I think for this offense to maximize itself, I don't think it can get any worse than what it is. Put Gabriel out there if that's their next guy in line, and I would hand over the play calling to Tommy Rees and let him call that offense because I think he probably gave a lot of the newer concepts. And I know people that know Tommy Rees, and I reached out to him. They said he is a dude and that he can be a very good coach in the NFL. He's a lot of people raved about him in college. If Nick Saban trusts him to call plays, I think he could do it here. Jersey or Mike? Jersey?
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Go ahead,
Mike.
I was just going to say I agree. I don't think it's an indictment so much on Kevin if he decides to be the CEO coach. I like Tommy Rees. I liked Tommy Rees when we hired him as the tight ends coach, and I like him now that he's the OC. I think he's a really smart offensive mind. I think he's some of the plays that he's introduced to the Browns, scheming wide receivers open, it's just Flacco can't get him to it. I think Tommy Rees could just bring in a little bit of new flavor, something new, because here's the thing, Stefanski understands you can't, like, for all of his faults, he understands you can't be stagnant in the NFL. You have to add things to the playbook every year. And Tommy Rees at least comes from kind of the same thought process, just a little bit newer concepts.
And I think his style would fit Dillon much better. Maybe even Shador a lot better. That newer, you know what I mean? Stefanski, all he knows is what he knows. He was in the same organization with the same philosophy for, 16 years, Mike? So, and they went away from that 3 years. When they decided to fire Van Pelt, Stump, and all them dudes 2 years ago, Bill Callahan left. That's when they decided to move off of that offense. Your thoughts, Jersey?
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Because I think, like our boy Ro Goldstein said, shout out to Goldstein, met him at the game a couple weeks, but they've never recovered from those firings, and there's a reason why that offense has been abysmal since Jersey, because they never recover from those firings. And did Quinshon have over 100 yards today, Mike?
He was close. He had 97.
96. So they've still in 2 years, or they didn't have it at all last year. Still have not had a guy run for over 100 yards. And so then this offense has been the
Well,
worst offense in the league since they made those firings, and they've never recovered from it. And I think that's a lot of it. They haven't found an identity. Why not? If you're going to go all new, why not hand it over to put a newer quarterback in there who can fit the offense and hand it over to the guy that can help with that and identifies with that. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, Mary Kay did just report though that he wants to make sure that it looks good before he does that, and that's the furthest thing from looking good. What I've watched the last 3 weeks,
But I
she said
wonder,
in there,
is he trying to call plays in a new system again that he's probably not suited to call plays in that new system because all he knows
well,
is
I
what he
think we
comes
all
from.
know the answer to that, Joe.
No, I
I
know,
think,
but that's my whole point. As soon as they fired all those guys 2 years ago, after that last run with Flacco, they decided to move off to a new offense. No more of that old play action, running the ball 30 times a game.
yeah, that
They
stuff doesn't work.
the stuff he came from, the old West system in Minnesota with Kubiak, and they're trying to move on and innovate. But I think he just can't. All he knows is what he knows. So I think that's why he needs to turn it over to the guys he hired and let them build that up. Go ahead, Jersey.
well, here, anytime you fire that many guys off of one staff, I mean, it's going to take a little bit to recover. Completely just wipe out,
Yeah.
and then start over again. You know what I mean? I mean, you run it for 1 year and it's a disaster. So now you're starting over again. But uh, I'm with you in that. I don't like a coach calling plays. It just never works. I mean, look at
Not
Ryan
for
Day.
everybody.
It's very few guys can do it. Um,
Yep.
like Ryan Day, he finally turns the plays over to win a national title. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I just think there's too many things that the coach needs to be, have their thumb on throughout the entire game, both sides of the ball, special teams, to be sitting there thinking 3 plays ahead, 4 plays ahead, whatever the hell they do. Um, so yeah, I would turn the play calling over immediately, right now, and then eventually, 3 weeks or 4 weeks from now, plug a different quarterback in. But it can only get better. I mean, this is, like I
Abysmal.
said to you today, like it almost seems like it's just sabotage, like intentional sabotage, self sabotage. It's so, like, you just scratch your head. They know better than this. You know what I mean? Or,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the offense is just freaking dismal. So it can only get better. So please change this play caller, send it to Tommy Reeves, and then change out the quarterback in a few weeks if they're not
Gert?
going to do it now.
Yeah, then you want to add, Gert?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's always the thought process of what they should do and what you think they are going to do. So obviously I don't disagree with you on what they should do. I just, you've seen this before, right? And
Yeah.
I mean, how many times do you have to fall for it before you just realize that it just is what it is? I don't. I think that if he turns the play calling over, I think he's admitting he's failed. And I think that I don't see it happening. But I mean, could it? Do I think Tommy Rees is qualified? Yes. Do I agree with you guys? I think head coaches, you're only as good as your staff, right? I mean, you're only as good as your offensive coordinator. You're only good as your defensive guys. I mean, a great defensive coordinator can make you look good. A great offensive coordinator can make you look good. I mean, I'm under the belief that your head coach should be the guy that gets you mentally and prepare those kind of things, the X's and O's and all that other stuff. I think those should be your coordinators. I mean, I obviously, you know, as a head coach, you have involvement in those things, but I think that there's more to a head coach than the, you know, like you said, the 7 plays, the first 10 plays, all those things that an offensive coordinator should be able to do and should be doing. Obviously, again, Andy Reid does it. Of course, Andy Reid does it. Well, Andy Reid's been a coach for 30 some years, 40 some years. You know, Sean McVay does it. There's obviously coaches out there that are excellent head coaches that can do this stuff, but those
It's not many.
aren't the norms, right? Those are just the greats. So I mean, like Dan Campbell. I mean, I don't know if Dan Campbell would be good at calling an offense. I'm not gonna lie, but he understands that, and he has
Probably
gotten
not because he's too emotional.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I don't like it, because your head coach just gets emotional. He's the leader of the team. He yells at reps. He's going off. He's yelling. A lot of Stefanski today, I see him clapping and yelling on the side, like trying to cheer his guys up. I like my play caller up in the box, not emotion, silence, where you can see everything.
I don't know why Stefanski was acting as if that yellow glove of Josh Jacobs wasn't on that football when he fumbled. I mean, maybe I am blind, but literally the yellow glove was on the football.
Yeah.
I don't understand what he was like upset about that. I'm like, dude, did you see the replay? I mean, he has a yellow glove. You can see the glove on the football. But I don't know. He's weird.
Chantel says, didn't Haslam say he absolutely wants to see the rookie quarterbacks for 26 draft? Oh yeah, he said they're playing. Remember that, Mike? He said they're definitely going to play this year.
Oh yeah.
So it's only a matter of time. How does Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season in 20 years of multiple quarterbacks, but Kevin Stefanski can't? I don't know. It's a good question. I think Mike Tomlin may have more autonomy than him. That's for sure. That's Pittsburgh. Definitely has a very well-ran organization for sure.
They run the ball.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Jeremy said, I just want to say thank God, or I just want to say God bless all of you. I appreciate having each of you in my life. The last week has put what really matters in perspective, and I really appreciate that friendship and family. I appreciate Jeremy, and love you, brother, and
love you, Bear.
Glad you had a good week, and
go bring it in tomorrow.
Yeah, bring it in tomorrow. Teflon Don just popped in. What's up, Teflon? He said the Browns are still cheeks.
Yes, they are.
No matter what, they're still cheeks in his opinion. It's good to see you, Teflon. Yeah, you guys got else before we get out of here? Go ahead.
31-10 Lions.
Oh yeah, score predictions. What do we got for next week? So Gerg's got 31-10 Lions. Mike, what do you got next week?
You know, we held the Packers to 10 points, and they beat the Lions. So I'm going to say 21, because it's a better offense than the Packers. 21 Lions, Browns 13.
So you got the Browns losing 21-13.
Holy crap.
Yes.
Mike is a changed man. He has the Browns losing.
I had the Browns losing last week. Squidward.
Jeremy said bring it in, Mike. And Chantel said 45-12. I'm assuming the Lions. So 45-12. Damn. Lions. So Gerg's got 31-10. Mike's got 21-13. Chantel's got 45-12. I want to see what Jeremy's got. Jersey, what do you got?
A defense playing well. I think offense will shit the bed again. I'm going to say 24-9 Detroit.
Oh, you were right on the money with Jeremy. He said 24-10.
Yeah, they won't get a touchdown. It'll be 3 field goals.
Or
they'll get a touchdown, miss the point after. They'll find a way to get the 9.
I'm going to say, I don't know, man, because I like that defense a lot, but that offense, my gosh, on the road, I just feel like it could be a repeat of Baltimore, where the defense just gets tired out because it gets pissed because their offense is giving them no help. I'm going to say 28-17 Lions.
Ooh.
And I'm going to say the Browns get a garbage touchdown late. I just think it's going to be like Baltimore, kind of. I don't think they'll give up 40-something points, but I just think I don't have a lot of faith in the offense right now. I think they can run the ball better, but you're going against the Lions next week at home in Detroit. I just don't until I see more improvement from that offense. I just feel like the defense is going to get gassed out next week, Mike, and I think the Lions will get probably. I think the Lions have a big third quarter, just like the Ravens did, because the defense is come out of the half and the Lions will make adjustments at halftime. And I think I just don't think that offense makes it do enough. If they can score some points in the first quarter and finally, I think maybe we could have a game going in the fourth. But I just have a lot of faith in that offense, Mike. So that's why I got 28-17. I think the defense is going to get gassed out because you're going against an offense that's pretty balanced too in the Lions.
Yeah.
Pretty balanced. How dare you? There's balance as they come.
Yeah, just says balance as soon as you look out there.
Yeah.
Just hold up a sign just says we're balanced. But them and the Packers are pretty. I mean, I think the stats showed the Packers. I think they're like 50% every game running pass. Could see quarterback change a half against Lions. I think we will see Dillon Gabriel come in late in that game next week, Jeremy, when it's 28-10 with 5 minutes left or whatever, and the Browns got the ball. I think he'll go out and score a touchdown again like he did in the Ravens game, and all hell's going to break loose in the media. That's my prediction, 28-17. So, well, gents, you want to tell me to like, subscribe, and share?
Absolutely. Folks, thank you so much for joining us this evening. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, and share. And if you're on YouTube, ding that notification bell to make sure you know when we're going live. Thank you guys so very, very much for watching. All the old subscribers, new subscribers, we appreciate you all the same, and we love you very much.
Jersey, you got anything?
Mike said it so eloquently.
That's right. Go Browns, go Knights, and go Bucks.
Go Knights.
Go Knights. Big week. We'll see you guys in the next one. Like, subscribe, share all the good stuff, and we're out of here. Mike, what are you doing tonight?
I am doing the praying mantis Shaolin pose on top of my dining room table. That's what I'm doing.
We'll see you guys in the next one. We're out of here. Go.